Hey everybody. So in this video we are going to go over Beta Wars Part 3, and this is going to be the final video as far as I know in the series that we've been talking about. And with this one we're going to go over the actual battlefield itself. We're going to talk about strategic points and what defenses you can place where. We're going to talk about how many points different things are worth, and then we're going to talk about the rewards that you can get right now when you do a beta war. So having gone through all that, let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about the actual war battlefield. What you're going to see is just our side of the field right now because we are not in an active war in Obsidian Grove. We only do weekend wars right now. So I don't get to show you the full field, but I can kind of pan out and show you at least where their field starts. But essentially, both sides of the battlefield look exactly the same, just mirrored. Whatever side the defending side is on, like whatever guild you're in, is going to show up as blue, and then the opponent will show up as red. So let's go through. So this first part that we have right here, this is called the treasury. Now the treasury is going to be worth the most points, and we'll go into that a little bit later on. And then right in front of that you have the gate. This is going to be worth the second highest in points. In front of that you have a row of towers. And then you have camps. And then you have a row of campfires. And then another row of towers. Now I'm going to scroll just a little bit, and you can kind of see all the way on the right where it starts to show the red side. So these are numbered. So for our side, it's going to be 1 through 16. And then it starts at 17 and goes through 32 on their side. So these are going to be different in the way that you can set up your defenses in each zone. So in your treasury, you can set up any type of team. You can have anything that is legendary and below can go into your treasury. The gate is the same way. And so are these towers, both the front and the back set. But then when you come to these camps, you can only have epic and below. And then with the campfires, you can only have rare and below. So you have to be careful with the defense teams that you set up as far as your guild goes, because you're going to need a lot of rares, and you're going to need a lot of epics, and you're going to need a lot of legendary teams. And this goes for both defense on your side, and then when you take strategic points towards the opponent's treasury, you're going to need to set up defenses there as well. So each one also is going to have an amount of teams that you can place there. For instance, the treasury, if you look up here at the top, it shows 0 out of 12. That's because we don't have any teams set up right now. But you can have up to 12 teams defending your treasury. For the gate, you can have up to 8. For gates, you can have up to 5. And that 5 is going to go through the camps and the campfires as well. And then this front group of towers is also 5 teams. So as you're setting things up, think about the path that things are going to take. So if you look in the very middle of what would be the battlefield, you can see these paths that kind of lead from each strategic point to the next one. So for instance, if the opponent takes our tower 14, this is spot 14 here, once that has been fully claimed as theirs, they would then open up a path to take either 10 or 11. And you have to have paths that join or that are a direct path in order to be able to go there. So from 11, if you look, you could go to 6, 7, or 8. And then let's say you took 7. You would then be able to go to 3 or 4. And then from any of these towers, you would be able to go and attack the gate. So you have to follow the road or the path, that kind of dirt looking path, to sort of see where you're going to go. And this is important for both offense and defense, trying to figure out what path you either want to kind of lay out or what path you're going to take whenever you're attacking. It's important to know what is going to unlock what. And another thing to consider is the on each side. So for either the blue side or the red side, you can see these little like trapdoor looking things down here. excuse me, that is going to basically give someone on the defending side a direct path from their castle, or I'm sorry, their treasury, over to 5 or over to 3. And then on the opposite side, it would be in the 30s. But that can only be used, as far as my knowledge, for the defending team. So that is how the battlefield looks and kind of how it's set up as far as everything goes. And now we're going to talk about what different points you can get for different attacks or defending. And then we're going to talk about what type of rewards you're going to get for war. All right, so let's talk about how you can gain points, either whether you are attacking on the offense side or on the defensive side. So each each hero killed is going to be worth 3 points. This works both, as far as I can tell from the times that we've tested out war, it works both offensively and defensively. So if you're on the offense and you kill one hero on the opponent, you're going to get 3 points for that. And the points seem to appear both for the guild entirely and then also for your own personal war. I guess you fill up like a war tracker to get a reward at the end. That's a personal reward. So each hero is worth 3 points, and let's say that you are attacking a team and their team ends up killing one of your heroes. They gain 3 points for that. So you can get points both on defense and offense. You do get an additional 8 points for if you kill an enemy, their whole team. So there's a total of 20 points that each team is worth, and that's 3 points per hero and then 8 points for the entire team defeat. But there are also additional points that you can earn if a team is on a win streak. So say, for instance, that there's one team that is on a three win streak, and you can see that when you're looking at each defense team. It'll show like wins and losses and then a win streak. And win streak just means that they've been attacked X number of times and they are undefeated that many times. Every win streak that someone is on, it's an additional 5 points per win streak count. So let's say that they're on a 3 win streak, that's worth 15 additional points if you defeat them. If they're on a 10 win streak, that is an additional 50 points if you defeat them or if they defeat you. So the stronger a team is and how many win streaks it's on, it becomes more valuable point-wise. And those points do go both to the individual person who defeated the team that was on a win streak and then also for the guild itself. So those are really great to look for teams that have a win streak, because they will technically be worth more points than one that's just defeated right offhand. So other than the attacking the heroes or defending heroes that have withstood an attack, those points, each strategic point on the battlefield is worth a certain amount of points as well. So as far as towers, camps, and campfires, those are all worth 75 points for the guild. And then the gate is worth 200 points, and then the treasury is worth 500 points. So what you want to do is take the opponent's treasury, because you're going to get all the points along the way of your path, and then, you're going to end up getting those points for the treasury as well. The treasury is the sought after goal of the war. And then, the other person has to try to take it back, and then it's just like it's a tug of war on trying to get the most points and having the most strategic points claimed for yourself. Now, one thing that does kind of slow down the progression of where you're headed in war is that once an area has had all of the teams defeated, whoever was the attacker for that is going to have 30 minutes to set up new defenses on that strategic point. Then after the 30 minutes, sorry, you can probably hear my dog. She's making some crazy noises back there. Dogs being dogs. Anyway, you get 30 minutes to set up defenses on a spot that has been claimed. Once that spot has been officially claimed after that timer has run out, then you can progress down the path. So it does kind of take a while to progress through, and you have to kind of like be really strategic on how you want to go about doing it, because you're going to have that time gap, like thinking about the 30 minutes it's going to take for that area to be claimed, and whether or not you want to choose another area to attack in the meantime, or if you're just like, it just depends on the strategy of the guild at that point. But it's always 30 minutes from the last the last team being defeated on that spot to then being claimed for whoever won that area. So it feels like forever when you're in a battlefield. Like you're like, oh my gosh, this is the longest 30 minutes of my life. But I mean, it is pretty quick in the long run, especially since war itself is 24 hours. Another thing is that you have to have a direct path between each of the areas that you've claimed to then progress on to the next available in that path. You can cut off people basically by like taking away a spot that would be in that direct path, and then they can't progress forward. So it can get really really fun, honestly, where you've got two opposing sides who are trying to block each other off and all these different paths and stuff. I think it's really fun. I enjoy war for sure. So it is challenging as far as having a not full guild, because we're not full yet, but you kind of have to think about it a little differently, because a full guild is going to have 180 defense teams to work with, whether it's already on the field or when you're claiming new areas, and kind of how you're playing around with them. Whereas you have to really be cognizant when your guild isn't full of how many defense teams or squads that you have to be able to place on the field and have carry over to areas that you claim throughout the time. Now, any defense that has been defeated can then be reused. But just kind of knowing like what you need from your team and being really communicative about that is super important, as far as knowing where to place on those strategic points on your battlefield. So we've gone over the battlefield itself, and now we've talked about points. So now we're going to talk about rewards, and I'm just going to lean forward because I took some notes over here. All right, so as far as the rewards go, at the end, and I'll kind of do like a little shot where you can see the rewards. There are regular chests, and then there are treasure chests. Regular chests are going to have one artifact, either a 5-star or a 6-star rare. They're going to have gold scrolls or an epic tome. And there will be a cauldron or stardust or potions. And then you're either going to get gems or gold coins. So that's what you're going to get on a regular chest. Honestly, for doing war, I think, especially after warring in a different game that I won't mention, I feel like the rewards are a lot better in Gemstone Legends. So, and then there are treasure chests, which these are at random. And I'm going to pop up and show you guys what that looks like. It should be behind me now. You choose whatever chest you're going to open, and then it's like totally random on what you're going to get. So the treasure chests, they're red chests. With that, you're going to get either an epic or a legendary 5 or 6-star artifact. You're going to get either gold scrolls, an epic or legendary tome, or you could get a platinum scroll, which is really exciting. You can get a 3 to 5-star cauldron or dust or potions. And then you can get gems or gold as part of that. And then there is, and you can see up at the top, there's a little individual tracker, and this is the points that you gain for your attacks. So if you take out a team, each hero is worth 3 points. You're going to get those 3 points for each hero you take down. And then when you take out an entire team, you're going to get those additional 8 points. And then there's the my brain stopped. The win streak points that you can get as well with that. So in the individual one, it does fill over time. It doesn't reset every war. So as you war each time, you're going to be adding points to that. With that, you're going to get platinum shards. You can get energy tokens or raid boss keys, tokens being arena tokens, or you can get gems or gold. And then, so there's that, and that you do get your rewards after every war. And then there is the ranking system as far as the guild goes. Now, there are a lot of different categories that a guild can fit in. So there's like, let's see, there's a challenger and gold and silver, and then I think there's a couple other ones in there, and I can't remember right offhand. But each guild is going to be ranked based on their points. And there's a whole system, and if you go into the guild wars, you can click the eye icon at the top. It's going to go through how many points your guild can gain or lose based on a war. And this is basically like, there's the winning side and then the losing side, and then there's a point difference between that. And what you gain or lose depends on how large of a gap there is between you and your opponent. Whether you're the winning or the losing, that's how it goes. But it's a whole graph. You can read all about that. So after every war, it just depends on whether you were the winning or the losing, on whether you're going to gain or lose those points. And so the ranking is going to put you in a certain category, like the very, it's like wooden, bronze, silver, gold, I think platinum maybe, and then the challenger is like the very, very top. So with that, it is where your guild lies in that. And you should be paired up with guilds that are similar to yourself with that. So I think that's really all that I have to cover with war. Oh, there's also MVP and SVP, which is the winning guild is who had okay. On the winning guild, the person who had the highest score, where it's added their defense score and their offense score, they're going to be the MVP. So one person on each winning guild is going to get MVP, and one person that is the best score overall for the losing guild is going to get SVP. And that resets every war. So I think that's really cool, because I think it shows up as like a little pin on your avatar that's like SVP or MVP. And I just think that's really neat. That's a cool way to celebrate people's success. And I appreciate that a lot. Being able to, praise those who performed the best, whether it's defense or offense. And honestly, from what I've seen, having solid defenses can make or break a war for sure. So that's all that I have at this point. If there are any questions or any comments, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys as always, and I'll see you next time.